Okay, in this video we're going to be looking at how to place a bet on a betting exchange. It can be confusing. I remember in about 2001 opening up Betfair and staring at the screen, wondering quite what was happening. But I'll get you there. This video is primarily aimed at beginners, those trying to navigate or familiarize themselves with the exchanges, and we'll be using Betfair as our example sort of platform. They're well established and they have a good, clear interface. So let's dive into our match example, which is a Champions League game between Leipzig and Man City, being played later on today. The first thing you'll notice is that you've got a blue column for backing activities and a lay column for laying activities. In these boxes you've got your digital odds, so in Leipzig's case 4.6, and underneath that you have the money available to bet at that price. So it's a very liquid market. It's only about midday on Wednesday, 8 hours to go until the game, and you can see that there's some good money already available because obviously it's a big match involving a Premier League team. In terms of the money being available, I could obviously bet £1,427 at 4.6. If I chose to bet more than that, I would then be effectively borrowing the money or taking the money from the next box down because the money just isn't available. So if I wanted to bet £2,000 at 4.6, I'd only be able to take the 1.294 as it is now, plus another £800 odd from the 4.5. It's not advisable. You want to get as big a price as possible, and I'd always be asking for a price. But there are sometimes occasions where it's just good to snap up the price that's there because you may not think it's going to last very long, or you can see it's coming in price closer to the kickoff or the start of an event, depending on what sport you're trading. So let's just put some money on Leipzig as an example. I'm going to be betting right at the money. I'm not going to be asking for a price, which will put my bet over here. I'm just going to click 4.6 for £2, and immediately I can see that my liability on Man City and the draw is £2, effectively my stake. If Leipzig win, I stand to gain £7.06, and if Man City win or it's a draw, I will lose my £2. Conversely, if I choose to lay at 4.7, immediately you'll see that my liability on Leipzig is now £7.40 because effectively I'm acting like a bookmaker. I'm offering up money to be taken, will be taken at this stage if I bet at 4.7. But I stand to win if Man City win or it's a draw. So I've got two eventualities effectively working in my favour. So in those examples, I was betting at the money. The money is available at 4.6. The money is available at 4.7. And if I bet at either of those prices on the back or the lay, I'm going to get matched right away. But the great thing about the betting exchange is that you can ask for a better price, and that's a lot to do with the nature of trading and arbitrage, because you can then back and lay at will at prices you think of value, and then trade them off. So just briefly, if I now want to bet on Leipzig again, but I think that the price is going to go out to 4.9, I can up my odds, and now I stand to win £7.64 if Leipzig win, as opposed to the original potential return of £7.06. If we do it in reverse and lay, and we want to lay at 4.4, for example, it's going to be a liability of £6.80, which was a lot less than the original £7.40 if I just take the money, or take the bet at the money at odds of 4.7. Incidentally, the reason why my £2 stake is showing up as only a profit of £1.96 is because it's showing my potential winnings with the commission taken out. People do get a bit confused sometimes about the number of columns on the back side, the 3 columns there, and the lay side. But it's not that confusing. What you have to imagine is that these columns actually go on and on and on for a while, not infinitely, but sort of into the screen, and the columns here on the pink side or the lay side also go into the screen to the right, and I'll show you what I mean. If we click on the Leipzig graph, and you remember the 4.7, 4.6, 4.5, and the 4.8, 4.9, and 5 odds, you'll see now that the prices in those 3 boxes either side are showing here, but also there is a lot of money at other prices going all the way down to 101 and out to well, let's see how far it goes out to, well, 1,000 now. So there are people who are hoping to maybe trade those prices when they're hit, or grab a big payday or a low liability bet or trade at some point during the game, and maybe getting their money on now, or hoping for an error, hoping for somebody's bot or software going wrong, and maybe picking them up at a big price before the game. Who knows? So I hope that's given you a basic understanding of how to place bets on the exchange. I know that many of you will be perhaps more interested in trading and arbitrage and free bets and so on. So I'll give you a brief overview of that, although it probably warrants a completely separate video. And I will have lots of trading videos going up on this channel in due course. And those will be live in-play trades on football, covering all sorts of markets, including the markets for the main strategy on the betfile.com website. So let's take Leipzig as an example again. We can see that Man City have actually started off at a blistering pace. Leipzig are struggling. We can then lay Leipzig at 4.8, or let's say we can aim for 4.7, which is a tick better, and let's say we want to lay them for £10. Now immediately our liability is £37, but that's only if Leipzig go on and win the match. And we're not intending to keep that liability in there for very long, because we are planning on trading. And sure enough, Leipzig do continue to struggle for 15-20 minutes, and we have to visualize that their price is drifting, and let's say it just drifts out to 5.1. Now we're in a situation where we've bet against Leipzig at one price, a shorter price, and we're now in a position that we can back Leipzig at a bigger price. So we've got a choice. We can lay, or rather back, Leipzig and try to eliminate our liability. It's probably about £9. So we've now backed for £9.03 and taken out that £37 liability, and stand to make 2p if Leipzig go on and win. But if Man City win or it's a draw, we make 95p. But now it's just a question of playing with the stakes, really. We can go that route and bet £9.40, and if Leipzig regain control of the game and go on and win, we'll make £1.51, and if City win or it's a draw, we'll make 59p. And you can fiddle around with it as much as you like. Obviously these profit levels are don't look huge, and they're not, but we are only betting effectively a tenner, and if we adjust these stakes again, so I've basically given us a sort of equal profit by backing Leipzig for £9.22, and we're in that sort of 77, 78 pence profit, which is 7.5% gain. So if you look at it that way, it's not bad for what might be a quarter of an hour's work. Obviously the stakes were £10. If they were £100, this would be a £7.60, £7.90 profit, and so on. So it's a bit crude, but I hope that that's given you a very basic outline of how you might look at placing a trade. I hope that overall that was useful. I'm well aware of my shortcomings as a YouTuber, but hopefully you got the basic idea. I'm well aware that I probably haven't covered everything, so if you have questions or you're confused about anything, just leave me some questions in the comments section, and I will endeavour to get back to you as quickly as possible. Okay, thanks very much. Cheers.